Welcome everybody to the 100th episode from yours truly, Spot of Nerd.
So shines a good deed in a weary world. My boy.
You did it! You did it! I knew you would! I just knew you would! We have to get on, we have so much time and so little to do. Strike that. Reverse it. This way, please.
We fucking did it. We fucking did it. 100 episodes, which is probably more, but officially 100 episodes that I am super duper proud of. I cannot thank and send my love and support to those 2-3 people that still watch this. I love you all. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I was rattling my brain, 100th episode. Should we do some special effects, celebration? Should I pick a genre? I was even thinking I'm gonna review myself. I'm gonna review Spot of Nerd.
Right.
Where we're going now is going to be totally different. If you follow me elsewhere, I've mentioned that Spot of Nerd is going to take a 180-degree turn, and that's what I'm here to explain. But the other question really is you have to think of, where do we go from here? So for this 100th episode, I'm going to talk to you. Really, I'm going to just tell you some truths that you will get where I'm going. But instead of giving you a review, instead of giving you the usual, I thought, let's go back a little bit to even some of the more deeper conversations we've had. I don't shy away from the fact that I suffer a lot from chronic pain, from mental illness, depression, and things like that. And with the way the world is lately, there's been some incredible accomplishments in my own life, specifically this last year, that might sound negative, but I promise when I explain this, it will make sense because it actually has led to a positive outcome. Again, you'll understand, I promise. And if you don't, just ask me. Throw it in the comments.
Excuse me, question time will come at the end of the session. We must press on. Come along.
The way Spot of Nerd is gonna go, we're gonna start talking about some of the more real shit that's going on in the world. By that account, politics. By that account, day-to-day life, my own life, day-to-day. Maybe one day I'll talk about, maybe I've finished up a series on television and I want to tell you about it. And the way we're gonna do this, I'm gonna upload these podcasts to YouTube. I figured the way I can get more content out to you, to my fans, my supporters, everything in between, so you might actually even get to hear or see me once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times, 5 times, who knows?
How can this be for the greater good? Shut it!
We're not going to stop doing these videos, but I am going to focus a lot more my attention more onto the streaming voice recording aspect, podcast-esque. There's words, I'm sure, for this stuff. I'm old, whatever you want to call it, so just roll with it. The reason I'm going to be bringing more of a political, realistic side to this is because politics genuinely has now come into the nerd world. It's come into the fictional world where people like me who do suffer a lot from mental illness and all other ailments I could name off to you. My biggest escape is television. It's film. It's to escape into these worlds where you have superheroes and you have the bad guy and the villains, and the superheroes take down the villains. You have amazing storytelling, stuff that, makes you inspired and passionate to create content like this, Spot of Nerd. To be blunt, they're just shoving it down our throats now. So the other accomplishment, which is leading me into the revelation that I've had over this last year, it's taken me 30 plus years of my life to finally come to terms that I am alone. And that sounds really bad and sounds really horrible, but I used to be afraid. I used to be so afraid to share my viewpoints, to share my feelings, to share my opinions, because out of fear of upsetting people. And it's taken me this last year to really get a grip behind it. Tell myself going, why are you so worried? Nobody asks me how I'm doing. Nobody ever asks me to hang out. Nobody asks me to go do this and do that. And I promise you, I want to make it very clear, I'm not playing a victim card at all. 100%. What I am explaining to you is what am I so afraid of? Me being afraid to share my viewpoints, to share my opinions, regardless of being in the nerd world, the fictitious world, etc. I'm literally giving in and enabling what I'm actually afraid of. This is a free country to a point. We'll go down that road in the future. I need to start being more me. And I think that is where the optimistic side and the positive side comes into it, is because you're going to get to start to see who I am. Now, spoiler, I am employed. I also have health benefits. Where I'm getting at with that is, I know where the line is. I'm not going to be afraid anymore to show and tell you some of my opinions about things, but I'm also not going to go full-on radical, because that's what I'm not. I'm simply not that person. I've mentioned in previous videos, just because I thought She-Hulk, which was unbelievably bad, I'm simply different. I'm simply unique. And I think that's what makes me special. And I think that's what gives me that passion and that creativity for me to want to give you more of it. I've been called the misogynist, I've been called the sexist and the racist and everything in between, all because my viewpoints are different than yours. So I will simply leave you with this story I'm about to share, and we'll kind of wrap this episode up. I had my best friend, his name was Brian. Gosh, it's been nearly 10 years now. He was the definition of support and what you need in life. He unfortunately got sick and he passed away from that illness. I don't mind sharing with you, I was in a bad place during those times. Depression, things like that, anxiety, everything in between. And when he passed away, me, being me, I almost lost who I was. And frankly, if you ask me to this day, I could tell you when he passed away, that was when I metaphorically passed away too. Because he was the last person that I trusted. He was the last person that I had faith in. He was the last person that genuinely gave a fuck about me. So going back a little bit to where I'm telling you in this last year, I've discovered I'm done giving me to the world. And that might sound really derogatory and really negative, but again, you gotta hear me out on this. I have poured so much into people, family, friends, relationships. But ever since certain political aspects have taken over in the world, since certain individuals took place in 2016, everybody has disappeared. Everybody has walked away. And it's taken me this last year to fully grasp, I guess almost grieve in a way, if that makes sense, that it's not me, it's not my fault. It's their business. And they are allowed to do whatever they want, and I'm allowed to do whatever I want. But the biggest thing for me is I need to stop caring. And I don't mean that, again, as I'm going to cut you off completely. But friendships go two ways. Relationships go two ways. Family, even family, it goes both ways. And right now, it's simply, for the last 30 odd years, the way I think of it, it was one way. It was Ian going to you. And I'm not doing it anymore. So I am really excited to move on into the next chapter of Spot of Nerds. And we're gonna change even the title. As you saw earlier, we're gonna be calling it Spot of Nerds. Time to have a chin wag, because I'm British.
Listen, Dad, if you are going to talk about naughty things in front of these American girls, then at least speak English.
All right, my son. I could have had it away with his cracking Judy, my old China.
Are you telling pork pies in a bag of trout? Because if you are feeling quickly, why not just have a J. Arthur?
What, Billy no, mates?
Too right, youth.
Don't you remember the Crimbo Din Din we had with the grotty Scotch bin?
Oh, the one that was all 6s and 7s.
Yeah, she was a trouble and strife for the Morris dance that lived up the apples and pears.
Yeah, she was the barrister that became a bobby in a lorry, and they gave her the Gatling gun in the bottom of St. Regis tea kettle. Yes,
and then
she shat on a turtle.
It could be about anything. That's what I'm most excited for. I hope I really do hope that you will come and join me in these conversations. I want to be very clear, as I've mentioned, I am not going across any line that I feel is going to be too much. I'm not going to cross any line that I feel is disrespectful or just evil, I guess, is a word to use as well. I'm going to be me. If you know me, you know me. I'm just very real and very open. Accept me for who I am, or there's the door. There's the unsubscribe button. There's the unfollow button. There's the block button, whatever you want to call it. Full transparency, I am a Trump supporter. I am a MAGA supporter. According to the news in the world, that makes me an extremist. For those of you that know me, for those of you that watch these videos that may have known me for the last 10 years or however long, do you really think I'm that person? But I want you to know that Spot of Nerd is changing. Spot of Nerd will continue for as long as I deem this to be a benefit to myself, really. The way I feel happy doing it, the passion I have behind it, to share with you my thoughts and my opinions about the latest show or the latest movie. I do really enjoy doing the work that we do here. This helps and gets me through those times when I don't have anybody else to lean on. I need your support and I need your love, because in today's world, I know I'm not alone in saying this. Being alone is getting quite comfortable. Good and bad, however you want to see that. It's just, we're in a very different world. We're in a very challenging world right now. But I hope that I can bring you some joy and some happiness. But we can talk to each other in a peaceful, cohesive way together, because I know we can. So, with all that said, I know it's a lot of just verbal diarrhea. For those of you that have stuck around, I really appreciate it. If you would be ever so kind, you know, right down below, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up and tell me, of course, what you think. I really, really would love to hear it. With all that said, thank you all so much for watching. From the bottom of my heart, you all mean the world to me. We will see you all probably really soon. So I will keep you updated via the Instagram, and I think that's really all I do right now. Probably even through this, through my YouTube channel. Any new content, whether it's a podcast or a video, will be posted, and I will let you know some way or another. So keep your eyes peeled, your ears, eyes peeled, whichever system you use, social media, blah, blah, blah. And we will see you next time. Later, y'all. Right, so I was thinking about doing this in a Scottish accent, but I really don't think I should fucking do that, because every fucking sentence has a really fucking word in it, you fucking shit, fucking motherfuckers. I know, I have problems.